Welcome to the Texas Department of Transportation virtual public meeting for the US 87 Widening project from the Bexar-Wilson County line to FM 1346 in Wilson County, Texas. We appreciate your interest in the project and thank each of you for your participation. This is a pre-recorded presentation. During the video, you may pause the presentation and navigate forward or backward using your video player. The comment process for the virtual public meeting will be described near the end of this presentation. All the materials for this public meeting are available for viewing and downloading. They can be found on the internet by navigating to www.TxDOT.gov and searching US 87 from Bexar. The video presentation is in English. The presentation script is available in English and Spanish on the project's webpage. If you experience technical difficulties with the public meeting, please contact US 87 at hdrinc.com or call our public involvement consultant, Gwen Urasich with HDR Engineering by phone at 972-960-4431. You may also request special accommodation assistance accessing public meeting materials and language interpretation needs other than English and Spanish. The purpose of this virtual public meeting is to inform you about the proposed project and to request your comments on it. This presentation includes information on the purpose of the project, a description of the project including the design, right-of-way requirements, and schedule, and the environmental impacts that would result from the project. We encourage you to submit comments on the project. Please note that discussions with the project staff will not be included in the official record of the public meeting. If you wish to submit a comment to be part of the official record, you must do so in the ways outlined at the end of this presentation. The deadline to submit comments to be included in the official project record is April 13th, 2022. This public meeting is being held in compliance with both federal and state laws. Documentation of this meeting will be made available for the official record. The US 87 widening project limits include US 87 from the Bexar-Wilson County line to FM 1346 in Bexar County. The current roadway is a 4-lane undivided highway with no median or barrier to separate traffic. The proposed project is to upgrade US 87 to a 4-lane divided highway with a grassy median and 10-foot wide shoulders. The project would be constructed with federal and state transportation funds with a total project cost of approximately $36 million. The project is needed due to increasing levels of traffic which stem from ongoing increases in population and land use changes. In 2019, more than 13,000 vehicles per day traveled this section of US 87, and our projections show this increasing to more than 17,000 vehicles per day in 2039. The existing 2-lane roadway with a mix of cars and trucks is expected to experience safety and congestion issues with these traffic volumes. According to data collected in 2020, between 2015 and 2019, within the project limits, 125 crashes occurred. Of those crashes, 52 occurred at intersections, 22% occurred in dark, unlighted conditions, and 44% occurred between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. 44 injuries were reported due to these crashes. In the future, as the number of cars using this 2-lane roadway increases, the number, type, and severity of crashes may also increase. The graphic on the top of the screen shows an existing typical cross-section view of US 87, which consists of a 4-lane undivided highway with 2 travel lanes in each direction. The state-owned right-of-way is typically 120 to 216 feet wide. On the bottom of the screen is a typical section graphic for the proposed project. This illustrates how the roadway would look in the future once the project is complete. The roadway would consist of 4 12-foot wide travel lanes in each direction, separated by a grassy median. There would be 10-foot wide shoulders throughout the project. We call these images typical sections because this is what the roadway would typically look like. There would be variations in the design along the length of the corridor, which is not shown in the typical section. You can review the design schematics to see these additional details. There would be openings in the median to allow turnaround movements. The grassy median, 10-foot wide shoulders, and median openings for turnaround movements would all contribute to corridor safety. The preliminary schematic illustrates a plan view of the proposed roadway improvements and right-of-way requirements and was developed with input from the City of La Vernia, Wilson County, and other stakeholders. Since the project is over 4 miles long, it is not practical to show the entire schematic at a reasonable scale in the presentation. We encourage you to view and download the schematic from TxDOT's website at www.TxDOT.gov, keyword search US 87 from Bexar. We are going to take a closer look at the area shown in red to familiarize you with the different types of features which are shown on the schematic. This image shows the schematic where US 87 intersects with FM 357. The schematic is superimposed on an aerial photo which shows existing streets and driveways. The proposed roadway areas are shown in blue. As shown in this image, we would be reconstructing the portions of some of the driveways within the state right-of-way in conjunction with the widening of US 87. A grassy median would separate the opposing lanes of traffic throughout most of the project limits and is shown in green on the schematic. There would be openings in the raised median at various locations for crossover and turning movements. The orange dashed lines represent property lines between the existing publicly owned right-of-way and other properties. We refer to these as right-of-way lines. Approximately 27.7 acres of right-of-way is needed to construct this project. More information about right-of-way is on the next slide. Right-of-way for this project would be acquired in accordance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Properties Acquisitions Policies Act of 1970 as amended. TxDOT has 3 documents which provide additional general information on the right-of-way purchasing process, including topics such as appraisal, compensation, and relocation assistance. These documents may be found at the website address shown here. We're going to discuss the environmental impacts associated with the project. The proposed project would be funded by the Federal Highway Administration and is a major federal action subject to the National Environmental Policy Act. TxDOT conducted studies to evaluate the environmental impacts of the proposed project. The project was classified as a categorical exclusion for purposes of proceeding with the environmental review. The environmental review, consultation, and other actions required by applicable federal environmental laws for this project are being, or have been, carried out by TxDOT pursuant to 23 U.S.C. 327 and a Memorandum of Understanding dated December 9, 2019, and executed by FHWA and TxDOT. Upon completion of public involvement, TxDOT will make a final categorical exclusion determination if warranted. A variety of environmental analyses will be conducted for the project, including topics such as natural and cultural resources and traffic noise. No effect on any state or federally listed threatened or endangered species is anticipated. The monarch butterfly is a candidate for federal listing, and if it becomes listed before the project is complete, we will consult with the United States Fish and Wildlife Service to ensure compliance with the Endangered Species Act. Due to the change in the proposed roadway cross-section, including separation of the eastbound and westbound lanes, additional ROW and potential business and residential displacements will be required. TxDOT is currently working with design and environmental teams to minimize these impacts. Impacted landowners will be contacted and will receive full compensation for right-of-way acquired and relocation assistance per the Surface Transportation and Uniform Relocation Assistance Act of 1987 as required. The project is not anticipated to result in direct impacts to water resources. 6 tributary crossings are located within the project area. However, these tributaries are likely ephemeral and not waters of the U.S. The project requires action within areas of FEMA-designated 100-year floodplain. If the proposed improvements will impact or modify the 100-year FEMA floodplain, coordination with the floodplain administrator would be required. Further analysis is necessary to determine effects to water resources. Based on our Memorandum of Understanding with the Texas Historical Commission, no effect is anticipated to any archaeological or historic sites that are potentially eligible for the National Register of Historic Places. In regards to hazardous materials, the project team is working on utility relocations, including natural gas. This slide illustrates the overall project timeline. Pending feedback from this public meeting and completion of the project's public involvement requirements, we anticipate making a decision on the project resulting in environmental clearance in summer 2022. After that time, we may proceed with the acquisition of the right-of-way and the detailed design work that is necessary to move the project from a schematic to detailed construction plans and specifications that are necessary for bidding. Utility relocations may also occur after this milestone. The project is funded for construction in our fiscal year 2026, and we anticipate construction beginning in the summer of 2026. Although these dates are subject to change, they are consistent with current planning documents. TxDOT is asking the public to provide comments on the project in the following ways. Leave written comments on a comment card at the in-person event. Use the online comment form at www.TxDOT.gov, keyword search US 87 from Bayer. Email your comments to us87@hdrinc.com. Mail your comments to US 87 Project, attention Gwen Urisic, 17111 Preston Road, Suite 300, Dallas, Texas 75248. All comments must be received or postmarked by April 13, 2022. You may also submit a combination of both verbal and written documents. All the comments and our responses to the comments will be presented in a public meeting summary report, which will be posted on our website. All of the public meeting materials can be found on TxDOT's website at www.txdot.gov by searching US 87 from Bayer. You are welcome to review and comment on any materials. The public may call project staff during regular office hours or email project staff to ask questions about the project at any time in the project development process. For questions about this project, please contact our public involvement consultant using the contact information shown on this slide and in the meeting materials. Please note that discussions with the project team members will not be included in the official record of the public meeting. If you wish to submit a comment to be part of the official record of this public meeting, you must do so formally in the ways outlined in this presentation. The deadline to submit comments to be included in the official meeting summary is April 13, 2022. Thank you for participating in this public meeting.